What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at scion.com.
The Department of Education was not given a lump sum of $225 million in the last budget proposal from the legislature or the latest budget bill submitted by Governor Eddie Calvo, even though the governor asked the legislature for the additional $5 million last week. The extra money was intended to allow DOE to open a central high school at the rented Cortec facility in Tietzen while supporting the maintenance needs of other schools. Governor's spokesman Philip Leon Guerrero says the department's appropriation was reduced to $219,655,411 in the spirit of compromise.
The governor has been moving forward as best he can in the spirit of compromise to get a budget bill passed. And unfortunately, what we're seeing from the legislature is the governor's priorities and the people's priorities about health, safety, and education really aren't reflected in their budget.
The government is still committed to the lease for the Tietzen campus for another 10 years. So a new use for the facility will have to be determined once the Wildcats return to Barrigada as early as next school year.
I think in public law it says that it needs to be used for educational purposes. Whether or not DOE can afford to make use of those facilities, I think, is another question entirely. That's exactly why Governor Calvo wanted to give $225 million to the Education Department, so they would have the financial flexibility to do what they wanted with it. And what they do want to do with it is open a central high school, a new central high school, and really that's what the student population deserves. They don't deserve to be in overcrowded schools.
The Cortec facility has been used as a temporary campus for DOE schools for several years, but a new lease agreement signed at the start of 2012 didn't come with the full support of the legislature. The latest agreement sets the rent at about $5 million in tax credits a year. It also provides the government an option to purchase the facility through a lease-to-own deal, but that expires at the end of this year. Leon Guerrero said he wasn't sure if the governor would pursue the lease-to-own option without the additional revenue for DOE, but noted that the current budget would make it difficult to operate a new school there.
I do know that based off of what Superintendent Fernandez wrote to the governor, that $225 million will go a long way and will make a central high school viable. I think in order to open a central high school with the compromise budget for DOE that Governor Calvo included to try to garner support from the legislative majority for his budget, I think it would be a lot more financially challenging to do that.
The Tietzen campus has been occupied by the Untalan Middle School Wildcats since their Barrigada campus was closed by Public Health in January of 2012, and it was previously used by JFK while the Islanders waited for their school to be rebuilt. Betsy Brown, PNC News.